Hey everyone, Xander here from Excess Gaming Podcast, and I'm going to do a countdown for my most addictive games of all time. Let's get it started. Okay guys, number 10, I would like to say one of my most addictive games of all time is on the Sega Dreamcast, and that is Gumbird 2. I absolutely love shoot-'em-up games. I don't know if it's because I've gotten older, I don't really have a whole lot of time just to sit there and get lost in a 40-hour video game. But shoot-'em-up games are a lot of fun to pick up and play and just relax. And this game is no exception. Colorful hand-drawn sprites. It's a bullet hell, so there's just straight up madness. So if you're like me and you have some ADD, this is definitely a game to check out. Another note, it also has Morgan from Dogstalkers. Freaking sweet. Number 9. I'd like to mention one of my favorite games, Mortal Kombat 2. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since I was 7 years old, but something about Mortal Kombat 2 just really struck a chord with me. It was bigger, better, bloodier. The fatalities were just absolutely awesome. And I remember renting this game at Blockbusters and having that same feeling that you got when you got to see your first rated R movie. You knew you were seeing something bad, but it just made you feel good. Alright, and number 8 is Resident Evil. What can be said about this game other than it was absolutely revolutionary and started a whole survival horror genre on the map? Was it scary at the time? Yes. But what really threw me in a loop was its fun interactive puzzles. I remember this was the first game I got for PlayStation, and I thought it was just going to be a game that you're in a mansion and you just shot a bunch of zombies. And then later on I found out that the ammo was very limited, and in order to advance through the levels and through the game was the use of puzzles, which definitely made me not want to put the controller down. Alright guys, number 7, I couldn't just pick one because all of them are so fun, and that's the original Mega Man series. I have a special place in my heart for Mega Man 2. It was the first one I played of the series, and it's arguably one of the best in the series. But Mega Man 1 through 8 was absolutely awesome. Great soundtrack. And granted, a lot of them got kind of repetitive, but if it's broke, why fix it? Also, on a side note, if you don't have any of the Mega Mans on the NES, and you don't feel like spending all the money getting the originals, I highly recommend the Anniversary Collection. Even if you've never played Mega Man, this is something essential to get started in the series. Alright, and number 6, guys, is Super Street Fighter 4. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. It was actually one of the first fighting games I ever played when I was a kid. And I remember playing Street Fighter 2 at the skating rink, playing against all my sister's friends that were like much older than me, and the good feeling it felt when I was like kicking all their asses. And Street Fighter 4 really brought that nostalgia back. They took everything that was fun in Street Fighter 2 and they added, colorful graphics. They added some new little spins on it throughout the series, and the added online gameplay really felt like you were back in the arcades. Number 5 is, of course, Halo Reach. Now, I have to admit, I didn't really start getting into Halo until Halo 3 because I never had Xbox Live until I got a 360. And that's really the meat and potatoes of Halo. Yeah, the campaigns are awesome, but playing it online definitely was very addicting. And Halo Reach was my first Halo that I actually got really good at, and I was actually able to, join clans and, get a couple of beers and play with all my friends until, the sun came up. And this is still one of my favorite Halos of all time. I love Halo 4, but I have a special place in my heart for Reach. Number 4, guys, is Pokemon. Now, I picked Pokemon Red because this is how I got started in this series back when I was in like 6th grade. It feels kind of weird that it was so long ago, and it's such a series that still thrives today. I have to say, witnessing it for the first time, it was absolutely magical. The fact that you had to, trade with other people, they had different versions, and you could have fights, and, it was a great RPG, too, to boot. And I have to say, Pokemon really opened up my eyes to so many possibilities with video games. And with that, I have to say it was very addicting. And number 3 shouldn't come too much of a surprise to some people that know me personally, because they know I'm a huge fan, and that is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, coming from someone who had only played, Castlevania 1 through 4, and a little bit of Bloodlines, going and playing something like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you're in for a huge surprise, because it was no longer the linear level design, but it was more of the, I know some people hate the term, Metroidvania of exploration and a little bit of action RPG elements. This was a great game. I loved the music. I loved the storyline. I even loved the horrible voice acting. Number 2, I have to say, Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim. What can I say about this game that people have not already reviewed or written about, other than this is a great game. The first Elder Scrolls I played was Morrowind. When I first got my Xbox, a buddy of mine was just like, this is a game you have to get. And I enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed Oblivion. But something about Skyrim, they took everything that was right with both of those games and added some new things like dual spells and improving the combat system. You really felt like you were in this utopia of a fantasy world that would even make Tolkien blush. And I remember the hours I would spend making those freaking leather bracelets to get my blacksmith level up to 99 so I could make the dragon armor. I have to say, Skyrim, still pumping out some DLCs, and is still very addicting. And number 1, most addicting game that I've had of all time, has to be Super Mario World. Okay? For the longest time, other than renting video games at Blockbuster or any other mom and pop shop, this was the only Super Nintendo game I had when I was a kid. And I remember just getting completely lost in this game. It had so many levels, 96 levels, and it had so much, fun platforming action. It had a great soundtrack, the introduction of Yoshi, and then you had different colored Yoshis that had different abilities, and so many secrets that you could trade with your friends. I remember opening up Star Road or opening up the special section in the game, and it really captured what makes a video game a video game. Added the co-op and the secrets, and it was just a great game. I still play it to this day. It's still one of those games that if I pick up, it's hard for me to put down. So number 1, Super Mario World. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my top 10 most addicting games of all time. Little disclaimer, these aren't the best, in my opinion, these aren't like my favorite games of all time. But these are games that I definitely lost a lot of hours of sleep, skipped a lot of homework sessions, didn't return calls. These are the games that really made me the kind of gamer that I am today, and some of them are very nostalgic, and I was very happy to share this with you guys. If you have a top 10, leave a comment below, or better yet, make a reply video. I'd love to hear your top 10. So until then guys, happy gaming.